Well, and I do believe that we may see that match clock a little bit lower on this match. Justin does play quick, but he is a methodical thinker, so he takes a little bit more time to decide what he wants to do. I wonder if that's going to come into play. Hopefully not on the negative side for him. With the dry break here, not a great start. And Jeff DeLuna, the bull, see how he can manage this opening shot here. Not a lot of options. 4-ball.
Wasn't a great spread on the break, was there? Didn't really pop for him.
It's kind of like the rack exploded and then they all came back together. Nice little touch there to get both of those balls broken out. He still needs to manage that 6-ball. I don't think it'll be an issue for him, though.
Yeah, I just wonder if he can drop it in and take it in the right side. Doesn't actually need to move it.
Definitely a possibility there. Simple is better, right? And again, Jeff just taking a look to see if that 7-ball slides past the 10-ball. It looks like it does. So really the only shot that he has to contend with is just being able to play the 6-ball. Oh, and he rolled a little far for the 6. I don't think it's playable, and even if it is, his cue ball is going to go a little wild. He'll have a shot on the 5-ball here. Just taking his time, trying to figure out what the best plan of action is for this run out. He's going to call his extension here. Extend that time just a little bit more. Needed a little bit more time to think. And he opted to play back to try and get on that 6-ball from there. Didn't get the best shot at the 6. He's going to have the 2. He's kind of in a sticky situation here. Jeff DeLuna very, very creative on the pool table. I'm sure he'll find something to do here. It might be even just to take your medicine and bank the ball. And it looks like that might be what he wants to do here. He's going to bank the 6-ball. Great shot with great shape. If the 7-ball passes, which again I think it does, he's got an easy shot on the 8-ball in the side pocket to take this first rack. Not a lot seen from Justin Espinosa. Jeff DeLuna gonna sink this 8-ball and take the lead.
Yeah, very solid start for Jeff.
And how quickly my opponent was able to turn it around on me.
Yeah,
and put me in a situation where the 6-ball shootout was very, very possible. Luckily, I snuck away. But it's always fun to see how that match timer works out.
It's always fun to watch Jeff DeLuna break.
Absolutely. I'm sure we'll be able to get some really, really good footage of that jump he has.
He gives it everything. It really does.
And yet still has the ability to have somewhat control on the cue ball. Not many players out there can put that oomph in there and still keep the cue ball on the table most of the time.
Yeah, he's got a good layout from it as well.
Really only, it's the 8-ball's a little tough. Does it go on the side?
It goes in the side. It's just which ball are you're connecting to it, but it shouldn't be too much of a challenge to get there.
I think he'd have to want to try and play the 2-ball last to just be able to roll down to the bottom side of the table to shoot the 8 in the side, but he might not have that opportunity.
Well, I'm just wondering if the 2 goes in the side itself, then that might be the best connection to it. Just use the 6 to drop on it, and then your natural shape is on the 8.
That's very possible as well, yeah. He didn't play up like I thought he would, so maybe he plays the 2 here, and he uses the 6 or the 5 to get to the 8 ball.
I feel like it just makes the 15 play a little bit big, but he's got plenty of room both sides of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's going to get the opportunity here to just maybe, not as much angle on the 6 ball, and he could maybe even stop the ball and cut the 8 in the side. Let's see if he prefers to stop it or just to move forward. Yeah. Good shot there by Jeff DeLuna. And again, a little bit of deja vu here. It seems like everybody's jumping out to that 2-0 lead. He just needs an opportunity from this break.
And he's got one.
Oh, wow.
What a break. Best break of the day so far, you'd have to say.
Yeah, and he just doesn't have a great opening shot on the stripes, but it doesn't matter really because he's got a good shot on the solids.
Yeah, he'd love to be on the 10 ball though, wouldn't he?
Absolutely.
If he's on the 10 ball, he's out. It's yeah. It's just a little fiddly on the solids.
I think. I mean, he's doing what he thinks he's supposed to. I like this shot. I like shooting the 7 and then coming down for the 3 and using that to get to the 6. I like that better.
Can't make his mind up.
Yeah, don't let the time get to you, Justin.
I think he was about to go and change, but he couldn't. That's okay. That's worked out. Thought that was going to go horribly wrong for a second.
Yeah, that's the shot clock not being used to it. Maybe not sure what to do there, and it didn't hurt him this time, but he definitely needs to be weary of that shot clock.
Definitely get the sense he's very conscious of it. He keeps glancing up at it, like it's very much in his mind. And this is at the 30 seconds of shot stage.
In his very first, the first time he played the U.S. Open, I spoke to him afterwards, and he told me, he said, "Man, I've never played with a 30-second shot clock. It's definitely different." So he is very, very weary of it. Didn't quite get the shape that he wanted. He may have to try and... I mean, can he squeeze up behind the 10 ball, do you think? Or
No, you couldn't even see it.
Uh-oh.
You could only see the absolute edge of it, and you couldn't do anything with that.
No, not at all.
Tough one because the break was so good to deserve better than what he was actually ended up on, but couldn't find a way. And so he's gifted Jeff DeLuna an opportunity here for 3-0.
Yeah, like you said, if he would have had a shot on the 10 ball, this was a click and point rack. All he's got to do is shoot the ball, and he's got natural shape on everything else. Just wasn't able to make it happen. Just a bad leave off the break. That's got to be frustrating too. You break so good, you make all kinds of balls, and you just don't have the opportunity you need.
Yeah, you see the balls flying in everywhere, and you're thinking this is going to be good, and you don't quite have the shape you need, and you're in trouble.
But he's still got plenty of time to come back from this. He's still got plenty of opportunity. He just needs a chance at it. Because Jeff DeLuna now with a pretty good lead halfway there. It's 3-0 in this race to 6. Keep an eye. Let's see if you can see his feet.
Gives it everything he's got.
Going airborne here is the bull. Right up in the air.
But as you said on the first break, what's amazing is obviously the way he really goes at it, but really solid contact on the cue ball and on the front ball. You know, he's really hitting it solid.
Yeah, and he's got a good opportunity here to make something happen. That 10 ball's a little odd.
Just having a bit of fun out there. with Trish Murphy.
And Jeff here really taking his time trying to figure out what's going on here. The best way to get to that 10 ball, because that is his problem right now. The 15 ball is not that hard to navigate, but the 10 ball is in a weird spot.
Yeah, I wondered if he could have just got there on that shot there. Maybe he wants to leave it later.
Use it as his ball for the 8 ball.
Yeah.
And that's not quite, yeah. That's a little far down. I wonder if he's trying to move into the, in between the 8 and the 10.
He's having a look now. I don't think he's straight enough to track behind the 10 to the top left. He was having a look to see if it passed the 8. Yeah, he had the exact line you talked about. Nice shot.
Yeah, it's a scary bump into the 8 ball. But if you felt confident in it, then that's definitely the way to go. Always go with the shot that you're confident with. Still got a little bit of work to do. And he played that one pretty well there, just being able to shoot the 14 here and just barely roll up to have a shot on the 15. He even stunned to the side a little bit. Ooh. It's a little scary going back behind that 3 ball, but he was able to get it. Jeff DeLuna on the verge of making this 4-0.
He's not put a foot wrong. He's just been very good out there. Another good hit.
And he doesn't put a whole lot of pop into his break, but he still gets a lot of movement.
Yeah, they really do explode on him. Like, it really does. You know, I say I agree. It doesn't look like there's a huge amount of power there, but there's a lot happening.
Yeah, lots of force, but not a whole lot of, you know, I guess theatrics. He just kind of breaks the balls. This is interesting though because he's got kind of a weird layout here. The 10-1 is in a weird spot. The 7-15 being close together makes it a little funny. So it's not a tic-tac-toe run out. He's going to have to make it work. He's going to take the solids here. I don't know if this 1 ball cuts without the foul.
He looks comfortable with it, and just he's straight down.
Oh.
And that's okay. The 4 still goes to the top right, and he's on the 6. So now he's got control. Now he's going to have to start looking at the problems at the bottom end of the table, because it's not that clean at the bottom either.
And really all he needs is a good angle on the 5 ball just to bump that 15 into the 7. If he can get that good angle, and it looks like he's going to be able to. I'm wondering, I think he tries to come between the 12 and the 9. Or if he just tries to keep it simple. There we go. Maybe wanted a little bit more angle than that, or a different angle.
Yeah, going into it though, he's not guaranteed, is he, to be on it?
And he's almost going into the 8 ball here, it looks like. So it's kind of hard to get over and get that 15 ball to move. He's going to have to put a little draw on it. Just give him an opportunity.
And it's not happening. It is not happening. Another one that could be getting away from Justin here.
And this is just a series of unfortunate events for Justin Espinosa.
Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, no. Cue ball flies in. I thought for a second he'd found a way to make the 7, but...
We were both ready for that 7 ball to drop.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, neither one of us were ready for the cue ball to drop.
My eyes were all over the 7 here. I thought it was going to find its way, but it's the cue ball, which very unfortunate to find its way. But with the 7 not going in, essentially he was going to lose the frame off it anyway. Be a major surprise not to see Jeff clear up here.
Just made it a little easier with the ball in hand. Shouldn't have any issues here. Is taking his time though. Can't fault him for that.
At 4-0 up, he has the time. No need to rush. We only just reached the halfway point in the match clock.
Looking at 5-0 and just under 15 minutes. Well, we could be looking at being way ahead of schedule for this.
Yeah, this is flying along.
Louisiana Shootout, 16 players, 15 matches, 1 champion. And Jeff DeLuna well on his way to moving a little closer to becoming that champion. It's 5-0 here. 14 minutes left on the match timer. Still a chance that could be a factor. This break is going to tell us a lot about how this match happens.
Oh, cue ball.
Well, there's his opportunity.
Okay, Justin, all you need to do is run out here and find another 5. That's your task. But all comeback start with the first frame, and he has an opportunity for that, and it's actually a good one. These are all there.
And he's looking at the 9 ball here. Justin not used to being able to shoot backwards in the kitchen.
Yeah, I think that's the smile on his face. That's to call his extension. I forgot his chalk, I think is the problem.
And he's just looking here. He didn't want to take the stripes because of the 9 ball. And he says, oh, I can shoot this way. A little bump on the 8 ball, but it's not going to hurt him.
No, I was wondering because the the solids look so good to me right from the start, and he was looking for some options.
Yeah, again, those are just some of those little subtle changes.
Makes a world of difference though at times.
It's not a whole lot that we're not used to. You know, we all play ball in the kitchen on the break on a scratch. We're just normally not able to shoot in from the kitchen, or like I guess the word is shooting inside the kitchen. You usually have to shoot outside. So, a little different here, but again, Justin was able to figure it out. He was able to make the shot, and he's on the verge of putting a 1 on the board.
That looks a little awkward to me.
Justin, I think, was trying to bump that 8 ball, or maybe he wasn't, but he got very, very close to it. And got kind of a weird angle on the 7 ball. And the clock is getting the best of him. You can tell by his reaction there. Checking the clock. Figuring out how he wants to take the shot on.
Well, does it go?
I think it does.
Well, the reaction tells me it doesn't. Not happy with it.
It looks like it might go, but I think the play here is simply to try and jaw it in the pocket. Try and jaw it in the pocket. That 13 ball is really in a tough spot. If it doesn't go...
But at 5-0 down, it would kill too much of the match clock. If he doesn't make it, he's in trouble.
Oh, there we go.
But make it, he has. That was an excellent 8 ball.
And the skunk is off again. That's going to be a great one for me to watch. And then I know your choice of match is Shane Thompson and Tony Chohan.
Okay, Justin has the next chance, which is what he needed. Now he needs just to put together a quick run out. These solids look good as well.
And you can see him here. He's got a little jog on him. He's taking a look at the camera. He's trying to work out that shot timer, or maybe even the match clock altogether.
Yeah, the match clock's against him, but also it's going to be 15 seconds a shot in about a minute's time as well. He'd do well if he can get out here before we get to the 15 seconds a shot, and just to get himself back within 3 before we go into the final 10 minutes. But it's going to be close.
Maybe have that little bit of time to breathe before that shot clock drops down.
What he doesn't want to happen is need to make a tough shot when he's mid-clearance here and it changes to the 15 seconds. That's that's the moment you can really find it catching you out.
Yeah, and here he just needs to hold the cue ball as steady as possible, I would think. He's actually opted to go into it. I'm not a huge fan of that, but if it works out for him, then it works out for him.
Yeah, I just wondered if he could have just used the pocket a little bit more, maybe played it a touch thinner and just dropped it in, and he might have just grazed it rather than having to go into it in the way he did, and that would have held him in good shape.
That's kind of the way I felt about it, but again, when you have that shot clock and everything else on the pressure-wise, maybe he just didn't feel like he had enough time to think about that, to figure that situation out.
We are in the final 10 minutes, so this is his last shot, not at 15 seconds a shot, and he had to use extension for it. So this is where it's going to get interesting.
And you see him there, he's very, very aware of the shot clock. Don't do it to him. He's got a very, very thin cut on the 5-ball into the side pocket. He could actually bank this ball as well. I think it just goes through the 14-15. Oh, no.
It did go. He hit that quite thick.
Yeah, he definitely had the room to cut it in the side. I think the clock just got him. And Jeff DeLuna here, his first taste of the 15-second shot clock.
Much easier task, though, when you've got a nice open table and all you need to do is roll them in at 15 seconds a shot than having to work out a tricky pattern that Justin had.
And he's taking the toughest part of it right now, this combination. Everything else is a little tic-tac-toe. The story of this one, Justin Espinosa, few opportunities, unfortunately unable to capitalize on all of them, has put him down 5-1, and it's looking like it's going to be the end of the match. 6-1, Jeff DeLuna. He just needs to pocket this 9 and drop the 8 for the win.
He's been very solid in this match. Hasn't put a foot wrong.
He may be the player to beat in this.
Yeah, he's looked so good out there. And, yeah, all but flawless from Jeff DeLuna. And he marches on. Justin Espinosa not quite at the races. Tough chances he had out there. But he was, well, not much out there going for him at all. Just didn't have the chances he needed. And that's partly due to Jeff DeLuna playing some brilliant ball.